It is official. Kai Havertz will become an Arsenal player sooner than later. Everything is already agreed with Chelsea, according to Fabrizio Romano and according to David Ornstein. And according to Oli Informer, he will be undergoing his medical this evening and tomorrow as well. So this deal has progressed very, very quickly within 1 week of the transfer window opening. So we'll be talking about that. How do you feel about Kai Havertz signing for Arsenal? And then I came across a couple of stats on Twitter, so we'll be going through that as well and see what kind of impact he will have at Arsenal. And also, who is next? For Declan Rice, how can I forget Declan Rice? He's becoming an Arsenal player. Or Jurriën Timber, who will be next? So let's take a look at Havertz. Let's start with Havertz. So according to Squawker, Kai Havertz for Chelsea in the 2022-2023 Premier League season, he had the most goals for them. He had the most shots on target. He had the most chances created, most aerial deals won, most possession won in the final third, most final third passes as well, most deals won, most flick-ons, and most layoffs. So, I mean, to be honest, yeah, as people have pointed out, Chelsea are very poor last season. But in terms of this, he's the one who stood out. In a terrible season, he still managed to have 9 goals for them. He also had plenty of chances in terms of shots on target. He also created the most chances. So both for us, it could be good for goals and assists if he can get those that many opportunities, or more than he would get at Chelsea. And also most aerial duels won. That is an important factor as well. We've also always talked about getting a tall striker. I still feel like we need one. But in terms of aerial duels, we don't have that many players who compete for aerial duels like up front. Odegaard, Saka cannot really do it. Martinelli does score a few goals with his head, and Jesus has scored a couple with his head at Arsenal, notably against Liverpool, and Martinelli against Crystal Palace and Fulham. Both of them usually get headers. But someone like Kai Havertz, winning most aerial duels for Chelsea the whole season, more than the likes of Thiago Silva, more than the likes of Koulibaly, and all those guys expect to win more headers. That is incredible. So for us, maybe when you put in crosses, you don't have to worry that it's Odegaard there. Maybe Havertz can help in that. I have seen him missing chances with his head, but hopefully when he gets the chances at Arsenal, he can train more with it, and whichever role he plays, hopefully can help us in terms of that as well. And then most possession won in the final third. So a lot of people have said he gives Ozil vibes. He's lazy, he doesn't really run. But at Chelsea, he won the most possession in the final third. Now, I'm definitely expecting Arteta to work with him and give him strict rules. So you won't see him walking on the pitch. I don't think you'll see anyone walking on the pitch in the Mikel Arteta team. So Havertz will, if he can run double or triple what he used to do at Chelsea, having already had the most positions won in the final third, maybe we'll see a different Havertz, a Havertz who can actually press for the ball, a Havertz who was supposed to be lazy. You never know. So let's see, and let's wait and see what happens with that one. He also had the most final third passes. At Arsenal, I wouldn't expect him to have that because you have the likes of Odegaard doing that, and the likes of Saka. But if he can be on their level, why not? Who is complaining? I am definitely not complaining. And then also most duels won. Someone like a Jesus loves getting involved in different duels, coming back into midfield, competing with the defensive midfielders for the ball. Havertz has also won the most duels at Chelsea. At Arsenal, we do have other players who usually fight for the ball, like Jesus, as I've just said. So you wouldn't really expect him to be top of that list. But if he can bring that energy and a different sort of energy, like from the Leverkusen, and this start in terms of having the most at Chelsea, if he can carry that to Arsenal and improve even more in terms of pressing, in terms of showing energy in midfield, not walking around, that would be perfect for us. He also had the most flick-ons and the most layoffs. So that could be great in terms of combination play with the other forward players, Odegaard, Jesus, Saka, Martin. In terms of quick, intricate football, we need to have a quick understanding. Get the ball, lay it off to Jesus. Get the ball, hold it up, get the ball to Martinelli. Do this, get the ball to Odegaard. Odegaard gets the ball, he flicks it on to Havertz. So you have to have a great combination. So those are great stats to have. He had all that at Chelsea last season. What about Premier League in general in terms of overall? So in terms of runs, he made 1,011 runs. He was ranked second in the Premier League. So that is incredible. That's not bad. Sometimes also you need to watch out what you hear from the media and from opposition fans and everything. Because if you listen to the media and opposition fans and you've never heard about Havertz, you'll think he's the worst player to ever play in the league. But according to the stats, he has run more than other players, actually. So there's that. So runs, he was ranked second. If you can bring those kind of runs and hope for passes from the likes of Odegaard. You'll get plenty of through passes from the likes of Odegaard. And if Rice is an Arsenal player, you can get a couple as well. The likes of Saka too. And if Fabio Vieira becomes the FC Porto Fabio Vieira, you're going to get these passes. Trossard as well, 10 assists within a couple of months. You're going to get chances to run for the ball. In terms of attacking runs, he made 876. That ranked him third in the Premier League. Again, pretty good. He always going to go for those long passes, and we have plenty of players who can pick out those passes, especially Odegaard and Trossard. So you will get those opportunities at Arsenal. And also in terms of runs challenging backline, 332 is ranked fifth. So keep the backline busy. Now imagine if you have Jesus and Havertz both on the pitch at the same time. If Jesus is making a run to the right side, the center part, right side of the box or something, and then Havertz is also making another run to the left side, all of a sudden he has Odegaard can pick out a pass. He had 2-3 different options to pick out. Last season, Xhaka scored a lot of goals and assists, but he's not really the typical player you think of him getting into the box, late runs and everything. I saw him doing that twice, but still didn't get to the end of it, because he's not really that kind of player who can run through for through balls and all that. Havertz can, and we saw him. I think that's the kind of goal he scored for Chelsea in the Champions League final, running through and then slotting it past the goalkeeper. So he will get chances if he can make those runs, depending on the kind of formation and system you're playing. Then Odegaard has a couple of passes to pick out. You can pick out Jesus. You can pick out Havertz. Also, in terms of runs targeted by pass, Chelsea are really looking, or in terms of the whole Premier League, Chelsea are really looking for Havertz. Being their striker, 377 in second. So the pass, they're really trying to look for him basically in the final third with the passes. So 377 in terms of that. And total distance of runs, 23 kilometers. So that he ranks second. So I don't know where all that story has come from, that story about him not running. Yes, I do see him sometimes walking on the pitch. In terms of the stats, I mean, he would have been 500th if he was terrible at these runs and stuff. But if he can put that similar energy and work with that data relentlessly, and obviously other players will not allow you to walk around, there is that as well. You also have to have great leaders and teammates around you who will tell you don't walk. So if you have the likes of Declan Rice there, Jacques would have been perfect for that. You know what I mean? Like, you need to run Havertz. So whichever, we need to build a team that also has leaders, and whoever is working on the pitch, you have to actually consult them and talk to them about it. So I am happy these stats that I've seen from Havertz. That can improve on those. Obviously he can. He was not the best player at, maybe he was the best player at Chelsea or second best player at Chelsea, but he was not the best version of him. Is nowhere near the best version of him. So hopefully he can improve in terms of all that after the medical, and he can get started after his holiday, work with Arteta, work with other players already in the team, work with the system, and maybe you can get the best out of him. Maybe you can get a better version than the one that he was actually at Leverkusen. So let's see what happens with that. But speaking of Declan Rice, who can help him in midfield, what's the latest on him? According to Sky Sports, positive negotiations continue with West Ham over Declan Rice. The clubs are working on a fee and structure. So hopefully this one is done as well very soon. This is the player I really want to join us very, very soon, sooner than later. It's not going to be an easy deal. We've already had 2 bids rejected, a bid of up to 90 million rejected. So maybe next we'll go with the 95 million bid. Maybe we'll go with the 100 million bid. I'm not sure where West Ham will settle permanently, or will they decide to give the player to a different team, or do they really want to keep him? We don't know, but the talks are progressing in terms of Declan Rice. I'm hopeful. I'm still 92% confident it's going to happen. What about Julian Timber? The latest on him from Chris Wheatley. Arsenal have agreed personal terms with 22-year-old right-back Julian Timber, who is set to make a 35 million move from Dutch giants Ajax, although the exact fee is still being discussed. So let's wait and see what happens with that. If he can get those 3 signings in, and then we work on the others as well, that would be already a great transfer window. So let's see what happens. But let's keep an eye on Rice, on Timber, and also Havertz. He will become an Arsenal player. Medical underway from the reports. He will be doing the medical this evening and probably tomorrow, and then interviews and all that, photos and all that. Probably hear Arsenal announcing it sometime over the weekend, hopefully, and then you can finally welcome our first signing. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.